Good evening, everybody. Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. How is everybody doing this evening? I'm so excited to be with you guys. Guys, you know I do appreciate your time. I do appreciate your patience. Tonight I had a but I made so we are here. So we are starting a little bit later than expected, but we are here. I'm so excited to be on tonight for this week's episode of Dialogues with the Doc. I'm so excited and thankful again to each and every one of you who are logged on watching as this thing gets bigger and bigger each and every week. So I'm just so excited to continue to bring great content, great guests, great conversation to your space just for an hour each and every week. So I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me. This is basically like my therapy. It's love and appreciate joining each and every week. You don't have to. So because you do, I have to say thank you because you didn't have to be here with me. I just appreciate you. So go ahead and set the stage for tonight. I'm as my guests get ready to come on, I want to set the stage for tonight and just let you guys know where we're going. So cousin, I see you. Thank you so much for watching. I love you so much. Thank you for joining in tonight's conversation. Let me flip up right quick. And we're going to get tonight going. Give me 1 second. There we go. So tonight's discussion is one of my favorite topics. Tonight's topic is HBCUs. And tonight I have the awesome privilege of inviting on some very phenomenal guests to share in this and this dialogue with me on how an HBCU changed our lives. So the topic is an HBCU changed my life. So of course I wasn't the only one that went to an HBCU. So I said, Green, you need to bring on some powerful guests that can help lead and guide you in this conversation about HBCUs and their importance, and just to share some of the experiences that we've all gone through with regards to how they have changed each and every one of our lives. HBCUs are very important. They're very viable. They're still needed in today's society. So I wanted to bring on some guests to kind of help shed some light on these HBCUs, the powerful work that they do, some of the amazing experiences that we've had from going to HBCUs, and just kind of shed some light and shed some encouragement. And for those of you who have high school students who are watching as well, maybe they are teetering on the fence of what an HBCU can do for them, or teetering on the fact that maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't. So hopefully from the conversation that my guests and I are going to have on tonight, we can kind of help you guys, help your kids navigate this thing just a little bit better. So, of course, you guys know how I do it each and every week. Before we get this thing started, I have to ask the major question. If you're watching, quick check in. Where are you watching from? If you are watching, check in and let me know where you are watching from. I know with this HBCU topic on tonight, we're going to have a bunch of people watching from everywhere. So go ahead, and if you haven't already, share the broadcast. If you're on YouTube, go ahead and like the page. Go ahead and subscribe to the page. Remember, this is streaming both on Facebook and on YouTube. So on Facebook, drcalvin.green, on YouTube, drcalvin.green as well. And this is Dialogues with Doc. It's a weekly dialogue and conversation about a host of various topics with some amazing guests and individuals who are on just come on and share. We're going to have a good time. And you guys know how we do it each and every week. As we are talking and you comment, we want you guys to be just as engaged as we are. So comment, like, share, chime into the conversation as well. And we're going to make sure we acknowledge you guys and get you guys involved in the discussion as well. I'm so excited about this topic. I'm very passionate about it. I'm very privileged, if you will, to say that I am a product of an HBCU. So I'm so excited. You see, I'm repping for Paul Quinn tonight. I'm actually repping for the TADC school. So it's Paul Quinn, Texas College, Houston Tillerson, Wiley, Jarvis, TADC. But, the one in the goal is the best. Paul Quinn, PQC, 1872. That's how we do it. So we are just so excited. I'm just so excited to talk about this topic on tonight. I got somebody watching from Orlando. Hey, Mila, and I hope I said your name right. Welcome. Thank you for joining tonight's episode of Dialogues with Doc. Thank you for joining us tonight, Mila. I am, give me 1 second. I am clicking and clicking and clicking. I got two guests. I'm waiting on two more to jump on for me, and then we will get tonight started. So how's you guys' week going? How's everything going with you? I miss you guys. It seems like 7 days goes by so quickly, but we're here again to have this great conversation and dialogue, and we're gonna get started in just a second. So I'll quick check in, like where you watch. Mila's watching from. Mila is watching from Orlando. Where else are you guys watching from? Put in the chat for me so I can share out where you guys are watching from on this evening. And again, thank you guys for joining us. Again, I do apologize. Technical difficulties got me started a little bit behind schedule, but we're going to make it pop, all right? I got three. I'm so excited. Y'all don't know, like, these guests tonight, when they get on here, it's going to, now your grandma will put something in the pot and it just, you don't know how it's gonna come out, but when you let it sit and simmer and let it mix and put your spices and stuff on and your little flavoring, it's bomb. You one more. Hey, my girls in the building. Shannon's here, Ebony's here, my brother Jay is here. I'm waiting on one more person. Let me see what's popping. Hold on. All right, so I'm gonna set the stage. So tonight's dialogue activator, you know, we start off every week with an activator. So our activator tonight, represent your HBCU. Tell us what HBCU you're representing. Tell us the one that's in your neighborhood. Tell us the one your daddy went to. Put in the chat the one your mama went to. Put in the one that you always wanted to go to, but you had to go to the PWI. Let us know what HBCU you are representing on tonight. That's going to be our dialogue activator on tonight. Rep your HBCU. Rep the one in your neighborhood. Rep the one you always wanted to go to but didn't get a chance to. Rep the one you went and got the diploma from, or rep the other one that you got the master's degree from or the doctoral degree from. Let us know what HBCU you're representing. Again, I'm representing Paul Quinn. I'm representing Texas College. I'm representing HT, Wiley, Jarvis, and the whole TADC. So where y'all got SWAC and y'all got MEAC, and that we got TADC. Those are the 5 private HBCUs in Texas. I see you, Mike. Mike, you got Morehouse. I see you, man. Morehouse is in the building. Let me see. Linda, what's going on, Linda? Then say, I want to go to FAMU. Okay, Linda, let's make it happen. We don't want to go. We're going to make it happen. Let's go. So Linda wants to go to FAMU. Who else do we have in the building watching tonight? I know we got Voorhees in the building. We got Paul Quinn in the building. We got Tennessee State in the building. We got Morehouse in the building. Come on, let me know what else is out there. Linda, we're gonna let you claim FAMU tonight because you're going to go there. Mila, I see you. FAMU, I see you representing in the building. So, guys, that was our activator for tonight. I just wanted to kind of see who we have working, who's in the trenches, who wants to go, who's representing, whatever colors they're representing, what HBCU they're representing. I'm just so excited to talk about tonight's topic. Just a little bit of background for those who don't know. There are 107 HBCUs in this country, 107 HBCUs of which 56 are private and 51 are public. So there are 107 HBCUs in this country, of which 56 are private and 51 are public. Now, a little bit about HBCUs for those who don't know, who may be saying, what is an HBCU? That's a historically Black college or university that is created because it was created to serve an underserved population back around the 1800s. So around 1865, I know that's when the first HBCUs began to pop up in the South after the Higher Education Act, and then 1890, which is when your land grant institutions begin to be built. So when I say land grant, I'm giving you like your A&Ms, your A&Ts, your agricultural and mechanicals, your agricultural and your technicals. So that's a little bit of a drive-by history lesson of what an HBCU is, why it was created, and why they're still standing in the world that we live in today, and why they're so prominent and why they're so popular. So that's my story. I'm sticking to it. I'm going to change this screen to get you guys what tonight's topic is again. If you are not aware of what it is, give me 1 second to click one more thing. You got to know I'm a one-man show, so give me a second. And of course, when I bring people on the show, there's a certain way that you have to bring them on because, you know, people are giving of their time and their energy, and they could be doing something else totally. But I'm just thankful for my guests that I have on tonight's show. So I'm sorry, I didn't even do my sound check because I'm running behind. Can you guys hear me clearly? Am I good? Am I staticky? Do I sound like I should be on the Jetsons? Let me know what's going on. Can you guys hear me good? Somebody put in the chat and let me know. I sounded like T-Pain last week when I started out, so I want to make sure that you guys can hear me clearly. Make sure you guys can hear me clearly. Hold on 1 second. T-Pain. Oh, I see your cousin. In my heart, I went to Howard. I know that's right. It must be a little alpha chapter, something up there in your heart if you went to Howard. But we gonna get into that. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Yeah. Hold on, guys. I'm trying to get my last guest on. Little technicality. You know, somebody don't want this information to get out, but we gonna make it pop. Gotcha. Perfect. All right. Sorry, guys. I'm doing my thing over here. Cousin in the heart, she went to Howard. All right. All right. Thanks, DeMarcus. I appreciate you, man. All right. So tonight's topic is an HBCU changed my life. Of course, I can't do this show without my amazing guests who I am bringing on. So, of course, I have to bring them on the right way. So give me 1 second to welcome my guests the right way. So I have Miss Ebony King, Miss Shannon Jones, and my good brother, Mr. Jamal Joseph, joining me on tonight. You know how we do it when I bring them on. They are deserving of the rounds of applause that I'm giving them, that you're going to give them. So I appreciate them for joining me on tonight. Come on in, family. Come on in. Come on in. What's going on, everybody? How you doing? Oh my gosh. Y'all, I'm so psyched. Like, I love y'all. Thank y'all so much for doing this.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
I'm very intentional in how this stuff comes and operates. For those who don't know, I asked God to give me a topic. He gives me a topic, and then I said, okay, now God, tell me who. So thank y'all for answering the call, because it didn't come from me. So this is all strategic and orchestrated from the man upstairs to have you guys on tonight. So thank you guys so much for joining me on tonight's topic of an HBCU changed my life. I want to go ahead and get this thing started. I got some more HBCUs chiming in, TSU and JSU, ASU, and HU. So shout out to everybody that went to an HBCU. We're going to jump right into this conversation tonight. Before we get started, let's go ladies first. Everybody tell us a little bit about you. Then I'll go to Shannon. Then I'll go to Jay. So go ahead and jump in there and just tell us who you are and all you want to tell us in the HBCU, stuff like that.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ebony King. Can you guys hear me pretty well?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Awesome, because I just ordered this mic from Amazon and I don't know if it's working.
Oh, that's good.
So hi, everyone. My name is Ebony King. I am from Dallas, Texas. My HBCU journey actually started at Jarvis Christian College, and I finished at Paul Quinn College. I'm the founder of Tabitha's Tea Party, where the T stands for Teach, Empower, and Apply, where we promote female discipleship and empower women to rise from dead places.
Come on. I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you for joining tonight, Ebony.
I have my baby with me too. So y'all wondering like why she leaning, I'm trying to keep him quiet.
That's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine. Thank you. Shannon, jump on in here.
Okay, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Hi,
everybody. I'm adding Justin, so we got everybody now. Okay. Hey Jay, what's going on, man?
What's going on? How you doing?
I'm good, man. Do me a favor, just turn your camera on the side so we can see you. Bam, there we go. Now we rocking. Okay, so Jay, I'm coming back to you. Okay, Shannon, jump in here and give us the introduction about you.
Hi, everybody. I'm from Orlando, Florida. My name is Shannon Jones. I went to the Tennessee State University in Nashville, Tennessee. I went there undergraduate during my undergraduate tenure, and it was so good, I went back for graduate school as well. I currently reside in Baltimore. I work in media and communications. And Calvin, I'm so excited that you chose me to be a part of this discussion tonight.
Thank you. Thank you for joining, Shannon. I appreciate you as well. Jay, Jamal, I got two J's. Jay, Jamal, jump in for me.
What's up? My name is Jamal Joseph. I am originally from Oakland, California. I went to Voorhees College in Denmark, South Carolina. I'm a member of the Alpha Phi Fraternity Incorporated. I am a celebrity dancer and choreographer out here. I choreographed Beyonce's Homecoming.
Nice. My brother.
Yeah.
Love it. Thank you for joining, man. Justin, JT, jump on in here, man. Tell us who you are, where you're from, what HBCU, and all that good stuff.
Hey everybody, my name is Justin Thaxton. People call me JT. Went to Kentucky State University in Frankfort, Kentucky. I am 1/3 of the host of the 1528 podcast, and I'm now I'm messing up. Now I'm getting all nervous. But no, I'm happy to be here, and I apologize if I'm a little shaky here. We're currently on the road right now doing a voter registration drive. So just trying to make sure I get everything done, but I'm still happy to be here.
I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you guys taking time from your crazy busy schedules. Yes, Shahanda. Yes, that be. Not that it's that be, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and get started with tonight's dialogue and just jump in here as I throw these questions out to you guys. And you guys that are watching, make sure you chime in and engage with us as well. Just like we're having a big family reunion talking about HBCU. This is the homecoming session for the adults that we just not on the yard right now, and the stroll not going through and stuff like that. Okay, so my first question is to my guests: what made you choose an HBCU? What made you choose it? And was anyone on the panel a first generation college student like myself? So what made you choose an HBCU, and were you a first gen like me? Anybody can jump in.
I'll jump in real quick. Actually, let me be a gentleman. Ladies, want to go first?
I'll go first. At first, I didn't know what HBCU was, y'all. I was going to University of South Florida, which is a PWI. I had no idea about Tennessee State University, had never been to Tennessee State University. One of my 7th grade teachers, who became a lifelong family member to me, introduced me. She was a graduate of Southern. She introduced me to TSU, and she helped me with my application. And she was like, "Shannon, this is for you. You are Black. You will love it. This is where you're going to go." And I'm so glad I made that commitment. And I am, in my family, my immediate family, a first generation college graduate.
Love it. I love it. Ebony, go ahead, jump in, sis.
So I'm not only a first generation college graduate, I'm also a first generation high school graduate. Wow. I think it's important to say that because I didn't choose the HBCU, and HBCU actually chose me. I had no inspiration to go to college at all. I was happy that I actually graduated from high school. I was like, look, I beat the odds. I went above everyone else. I exceeded the expectations. So I'm going off to the Navy. But 9/11 happened, and I was 16 when 9/11 happened. I think, yeah. And my mom wouldn't sign off for me to go to the Navy. And I actually just randomly got a letter in the mail from Jarvis Christian College that said you have been awarded a full academic scholarship in an amount of $40,000. I thought it was a joke. I called him immediately and was like, "Are you guys really like giving out scholarships, like a full scholarship, like the whole thing?" And the lady was like, "Yes." And so I had nothing to lose, and I went. You know, a lot of people in my high school at that time, they made fun of it. They were like, "Jarvis is just another high school. Why would you go off to Jarvis?" And a lot of people cracked a lot of jokes about it, but I went to school for free.
I know that's right. That's $3.99.
4 year, but that's a whole. I didn't make it to 4, but we'll talk about that later.
Okay, we'll come back to that. My cousin said my daughter's going regardless. Yeah, she's going regardless. I got you. I wish I would have had more exposure to HBCUs, or I wish someone would have put it in my life. I love it. Jamal, go ahead and jump in for me. What made you choose Voorhees?
Well, Voorhees just gave me a whole bunch of money as well. So I was like, I honestly didn't want to go to college. Not like that. Not saying that college isn't good. I just knew I always wanted to be a dancer. So I went to go to school for dance, but my parents were like, we don't want you to go to New York, because I was 17 when I graduated. And by then we had moved from Oakland to Dallas. So I was at DeSoto High School, and they were kind of like, "Oh, we need this and it got to be this." And I was like, all right, well, whatever. So the degree was for them initially, and I was like, "This is for you, so you feel comfortable when I go off to do something else. You feel like I got a fallback plan." And so there was a guy who said, "Hey, we're looking for just a lot of diverse students who have certain talents." And so it started with them giving me an academic scholarship, and then I got a tennis scholarship, and then I got a choir scholarship. So I was like, well, I got all the scholarships in the world. Let's just go. And also too, because I'm a PK, I was like, ooh, this would give me the perfect time just to go crazy a little bit. Not really crazy, just a little crazy.
A little
yeah,
bit.
and I didn't want to go to school in Dallas because my dad was pastor of worship at Oakland Bible Fellowship, and I was like, this is a major church. Everybody know him, and I was like, I'm gonna go 15 hours away so you cannot drive to see me. And that's kind of how I got the Voorhees.
And just loved it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna come back to that. I got something for you. JT, what made you choose Kentucky State?
HBCUs is all I knew. My parents actually met at Tennessee State University.
Oh.
Yeah.
So
I give TSU plenty of love. I say I was founded at TSU.
Yeah, baby.
Because of my parents. But so my mother went to TSU. However, the rest of my mother's side of the family went to Kentucky State. So it's all I knew. I knew I was going to HBCU, and I had applied to a bunch of them. But Kentucky State was offering the most money. Plus, it was in-state for me, being from Louisville, Kentucky. And I already knew it. I kind of made my mind up. It may be my sophomore year in high school, and I said, "This is where I'm going." I'm a band head, so I knew I was going to march, and that scholarship came in too, and I was just like, "That's what it is." And so, yeah.
I love it. I love how everyone had different rationales and reasons. Shannon shared that she knew nothing about HBCUs. Ebony and Jamal basically said that HBCU chose them, and then you rounded out, JT, by saying that this is you were already exposed to them growing up. It's just, I look at the varied experiences on the panel tonight, and a lot of our students in the age that I work with don't have those experiences. A lot of them, if they graduate, will be first-generation college students. So I thank you guys for sharing that. Which takes me to my next question. When you stepped on your respective campus, what was your first thought? So I made the decision. I'm here now. Some people have had horror stories like, my mama done left me, so now I'm just here. What am I supposed to do? And some people, I'm here now. Let's rock. You guys talk to me. What was your first thought when you got to the campus? Like, and I mean first thought, like, orientation's over. You now you settled in your room, and what did you think?
I was excited. I was ready. Like I said, I had been exposed to HBCUs. I grew up off a different world. I was ready for the life. I was literally ready. So my roommate was someone that I also went to high school with. So that summer we had talked about what we getting from the room, what we gonna do on your side, what I'm gonna do on my side. And I had been to the campus several times. I was ready. I was locked and loaded. I was ready for the adventure. I knew it was gonna be exciting. I knew it. I also felt like I'm now grown. I honestly felt like at this time I was grown. I had more growing to do. We'll get to that later. But yeah, I definitely felt grown by the time I got to college.
I got you. We coming back to that. Somebody just jump in there. No man.
Well, we giving honest answers.
Yeah, give honest answer. Look, we talking about HBCUs, right?
I literally was just like, what is this? I said, this don't look like the brochure. Where's the grass? Where's the butterflies? I don't see nobody smiling. I was like, oh God. And it's in the middle of nowhere. So I went from 5 bars to like no signal in the building. So I was like, man, this is gonna be a long 4 years. And because I'm from Oakland, like I already knew that when I got to Dallas, I had heard like country twang. But when I got to South Carolina, I was like, what is Bo? And like, hey, boy, like, we want. I was like, what are they saying? I was like, this is a lot happening. So it just kind of threw me off. And, I was like, well, where's the mall? And they was like, oh, the mall is right here. And I was like, that's the shopping center. Like, got Roses and Piggly Wiggly and Hardee's. I was like, I don't know. I was like, where's Papados? Like,
so Jay, I gotta ask you this question. Jay, did they have a party in the barn?
No, we never did that, but it was like party in the Grove outside, like blacktop. It was always on the basketball courts and stuff. So it kind of threw me off because I had never experienced that kind of life. And everybody else was just like, oh, it's regular. So we got into the dorms, and I saw the upperclassmen dorms that look a lot better. But my dorm, I said, oh yeah, no, I can't do this. Like this is crazy. And yeah, so I was thrown off when I first got there. I was like, my parents had left, and I was like, y'all want to just drive back to Texas? I'll come back with y'all.
Notorious said he got to Talladega and thought the Klan is coming. I can't with him. Ebony, what? Okay, Ebony, you got two. So, was there a difference between Jarvis and the Quinn, or what was your first thought when you got to Jarvis?
You know, I'm just gonna say this. Please don't kill me, Jarvis Christian College alumni, but you know, in Dallas, people talk so bad about Paul Quinn. Like they talk. Yeah. If you were from Dallas, you don't go to Paul Quinn if you're from Dallas. Mm-hmm. Like that's just like, why would you do that? So people talk so bad about Paul Quinn. So at Jarvis, when I got there, first of all, we were 3 to a room. And I went for the summer. And so then we ended up in 4 to a room for the summer enrichment program. We were in the middle of nowhere. Let me think. We had a Sonic and I think a Dollar General. Like that was the best thing going for us. And everything else was 30, 45 minutes out.
That was on the strip. That was on the strip.
Then I got to Paul Quinn. The rooms were a lot bigger. So I think had I gone to Paul Quinn first, I would have been like, this is terrible. But Jarvis set me up to appreciate Paul Quinn. What I realized is that like most HBCUs, the campus isn't really popping like that. You know what I mean? Like I toured UNT, I toured TWU, and the dorm life, UT Austin, SMU, like the dorm life compared to HBCU dorm life is doesn't compare.
Hey, this is the truth, y'all. We have a candid conversation. This is an HBCU changed my life. I got you, Shannon. Yeah. TSU, what happened when you got there?
My experience was completely different. I remember, like my man was saying, I watched A Different World my entire summer leading up to my freshman year. I always had a dream of working for BET, which I ended up doing for a very long time. So I would watch the Black college football games, and my high school was all Black, and I was in the band. And so for me, my level of expectation, the bar had been raised based on all of these external factors. And once I got to Tennessee, and you know, I ain't gonna lie, I'm from Orlando, Florida. I'm from the city of Orlando. Let's be clear, not Disney. So when I got there, I was under the impression that Tennessee was going to be country, that Tennessee was going to be boring. Like I didn't really know what to expect. And I just remember after freshman orientation happened, and when my parents pulled up, the Wilson Hall.
Shannon, you see that comment?
What did it say? Say something good, Shannon. Hey, Shannon. Well, anyway, so when my parents pulled up, like everyone was out on campus. You had Greeks at our dorms. Like it was almost like they knew us. Hey, helping carry stuff in, and it just felt so warm. It felt so good. It felt so right. And when my parents left, like my mama was crying, and I was like, bye. Nashville was completely different because in my mind, you know, I'm thinking Tennessee country music, but it was the complete opposite. You know, people from all different walks of life, people that looked like me, some people who didn't look like me, and it made me appreciate just going outside of Florida. You know, being in Florida, everybody either goes to Bethune-Cookman or FAMU. So I was just grateful that I chose to go outside of Orlando and certainly outside of Florida. So.
More. So there was Claflin, Benedict, Allen, like all those schools are near me, and I could have transferred easily, but the advantage that I had was I was able to change more and enlighten them on things that they had never experienced. So I think that was one of the difference in experience.
Gotcha. So for those that think that there may be a difference, I'm gonna throw a pop quiz at my guests real quick, and hopefully if we've had similar experiences, they know the answer to this. At a HBCU, traditionally, what does the caf serve on Wednesday?
Chicken. Fried chicken.
And what happened and what do they serve on Friday?
Fish.
Traditionally, chicken on Wednesday, fish on Friday. Oh, really ain't no difference. It's just Thank y'all for rocking with me on that, because people think there's a difference, and it's just about you get the same type of experiences no matter if it's a flagship or if it's a smaller campus. So thank y'all for joining in with me in that. Pop quiz I was gonna throw out there. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, actually, I do think that there is a difference to an extent, because I do have friends who went to larger HBCUs. I feel like being at a smaller HBCU definitely held me more accountable, because I had professors who were very familiar with me. It was almost kind of like being in high school. Like, people joked about Jarvis and Paul Quinn being like a second high school, but I appreciated that accountability that I got from people on campus. People who were very familiar with me, positioned me for jobs, which I know we're going to talk about that later. But I think all of that plays a huge difference in your experience at a larger HBCU versus a small one.
Gotcha. Shannon, go ahead.
Yeah, and I want to say something to that. I can't speak to a smaller campus because we're classifying TSU as a flagship campus, but I will say it was, I was taught when you go on campus to join these organizations. There are so many organizations on campus that will give you that smaller feel, right? So be a cheerleader, or join the Florida club, or join this type of club. And I think even though we existed in a larger university, there were a lot of opportunities for us to create these smaller silos. We were all one, but we had the opportunity to create these smaller silos to still get that kind of one-on-one or that smaller family feel. And I will say, in Nashville, Fisk University, which is a smaller campus, historically amazing, but it's a smaller campus. It was right down the street from us, literally less than 3 minutes away. And with those smaller campuses, like, they didn't have for real homecomings, or they didn't have football teams. And, oftentimes they would come down to TSU, which was fine, but I just felt like that's still a part of the experience of an HBCU. So while we were a flagship university, I think you create the experience that you want to have.
Right. No, thank you for sharing that, because a lot of times we're in cities where we have to collaborate between HBCUs to make stuff pop and things like that. And I'm glad you said that, Shannon, because me and Ebony can speak from experience. We went to Paul Quinn, but we would go to UNC for a party, or we would go here and there for a party, because our school was much smaller. But being in places where you have other schools close by kind of makes up and adds to the experience if you're in a smaller campus. So my next question, I'm ready. I hope y'all ready. I got my cup with me.
Oh, Jesus.
Describe the HBCU experience, the HBCU homecoming experience.
Jesus.
How much time do we have?
Right.
I think a HBCU homecoming experience is probably one of the most unforgettable things you will ever experience in life. When I think of homecoming, I think of healing. I just think there's so much you go throughout the year, but I just feel like that's the time where everyone's rejuvenated. That's the time everyone's looking forward to. I also think that even after you graduate, it'd be people you probably didn't like and everything. You go back and they be like, "Hey, bro, put some in your cup. Hey, you want what you drinking on?" And it's like, wait, we like each other? Like, when did
we grow up? Okay, cool.
Man, like, I don't care. Like, I think for me, homecoming is like Christmas. It's just like everybody coming back, everybody just showing love. And at that time, everyone is able to put their differences aside and be like, we're just here to turn up and have a good time and laugh at people, throw shade when we come back for homecoming. Basically
it is what it is. Somebody, y'all come on, describe this homecoming experience for me. Shannon, go ahead.
Use homecoming. I'm sorry, I had to put my pen out. Tennessee State University, and I can't speak for everybody, but our homecoming is a Black family reunion.
Yeah,
it is an opportunity for alumni to connect with the students that are on campus, to just show them the pride that they will always have, even beyond their years of Tennessee State University. Is a net in here. It like just connecting with the people who graduated, like the old heads. So the president's line, you got the old heads up frying fish, and we stop there and say hey, and then we head down to the camp. Like, it is one of those things that, like, if you have never experienced it, you won't be able to really know what it feels like. It's a feeling, it's a vibe, it's energy, it is all things amazing.
It's sometimes you need recovery time.
Yes.
Because it's like Whitney, you're just so full. Right? You need recovery time. Ebony, go ahead.
I kind of feel like I'm at a disadvantage when it comes to homecoming, because graduating from Paul Quinn and living in Dallas, it still feels like a homecoming. Like, everyone is still so familiar. And Calvin, I know you don't live in Dallas anymore, but I think you could probably attest to this, right? Like, when you live in Dallas, I mean, I was still participating in step shows like at least a year out after I graduated, which is that's what I mean about being from a small campus, right? You just kind of never leave unless you leave. Right. And so I feel like there's this piece of absence makes the heart grow fonder that I miss out on sometimes, just being from Dallas. I live in Frisco now. And I don't have close connections with a lot of people from the school anymore, like I did when I was younger. So that helps kind of create that energy and that reunion type feel. But when you live in Dallas, I mean, you can go to Walmart and it's freaking
Williams running to somebody, Rudy's running to somebody.
Right. It's like always a Paul Quinn reunion in Dallas.
Always. Jamal, did you chime in, bro?
Yeah, I went first. Yeah.
Okay. My next question. This is how it changed my life. What are the top characteristics or traits that going to an HBCU cultivated within you? So, what do you think? Reflect on your journey, and going to an HBCU cultivated this inside of me. Going to an HBCU exposed me to this. Going to an HBCU got me together because I was lacking. Talk to me about that.
I'm going to jump in there first on this one. I would say going to an HBCU definitely allowed me to be confident in being Black, and being unapologetically Black. Like, when I went off to work at IBM, Terrence is from Southern, so we're both from HBCUs. And one thing that I noticed in comparison, I mean, nothing I say is absolute or a blanket statement, but from my experience, one thing that I noticed when I was at IBM, my Black peers or coworkers who didn't go to an HBCU, it always seemed like they were hiding their Black. Like, we don't ask for watermelon. We don't want to look too Black. Don't bring chicken to the potlucks. And it was so many hidden Black rules, and I was just kind of like, I'm Black. I like chicken. I like watermelon. I drink Kool-Aid, and I don't care. Like, I don't understand what the problem is. And my coworkers who went to HBCU were very much the same. Like, we didn't feel the need to downplay being Black, or we didn't see that Black was like a cripple or anything like that. We didn't view being Black from that perspective, because at an HBCU you're so cultivated in Black pride that it's just, I'm proud to be Black. I don't see it as an issue. Whereas I think if you go to a PWI, you're the minority. And so all of that constant rejection and constantly having to assimilate and prove yourself can kind of make you subconsciously think that being Black is not good enough.
I hear you on that. Jay.
I'll jump in on this one. And it's good that it's tied in, because I missed the last question. Homecomings and the HBCU in general gave me this sense of family, and taught me how to share. And it also taught me CCPOE, class, character, pursuit of excellence. And so I felt this duty to become or uphold myself in a certain light, not just for me, but for the people that came before me and the people after me. Like I said, I went to Kentucky State. I wasn't the first in my family to do that, so there was a name. My family name was there. People knew my family, and it taught me about just having pride in everything that I do. You know, it really gave me a sense of I had to grow up. Honestly, I had to grow up, and there's this thing when you connect with your alumni and you see them doing well, it makes you want to do well. It makes you want to you know. I was never as competitive anywhere else in my life until I got to my HBCU. High school, I did whatever I wanted to do. And excuse me, I'll need to step away for that. But that's my answer.
Okay, you good?
I think that it taught me to think outside the box, and work ethic and being on time definitely was the biggest thing. And when I say thinking outside the box, of course, because I did go to a smaller school, we didn't have the resources that other people had. So, you know, I remember us building a haunted house in the gym or something. You know, we had turned off all the lights and we took chairs and built a whole something. And it just taught me that to be creative. Doing a pageant, you know, we might have got a $200 budget to build the stage. And so it's like, all right, listen, we're going to go to dollar store, get this, make it look fancy. Yeah, but a lot of my friends who did go to PWIs, I felt like they got pretty much whatever, like, because they got budgets for their organizations or whatever they were in. Like Black Student Union got $40,000 for the year, and I'm like, oh, okay, so they kind of like oh, I know some Black Student Unions who are up in the 100,000s getting that year for their everything, and so they were like, we're gonna have this guest come in and talk. We're gonna do this, and their kids didn't have to pay for the events, whereas we had to pay for our events. So I had to be creative. I had to think outside the box. And I also think that it taught me just how to work to prepare, because, you know, you got to reserve the building. You got to do this. You got to do this. And you got to make sure security there. So now when I'm working on jobs, people honestly, like, I pitched a few TV shows and people look at me and be like, you're so together. This is so presented well. And I'm like, was it not supposed to be?
Not supposed to be?
And they would honestly be like, bro, you kind of did more than what was needed. You're on step 3 right now, and we're just asking for 1.
This is who I am.
But I feel like at an HBCU, if you didn't give all 5 steps, then they were like, sorry, your event can't happen. So it's like, you got to come prepared.
Right. No, you're right. You're so right. Like, we're like light years ahead of some of our colleagues because of what was cultivated within us.
Yeah. Calvin, you remember our probate show you canceled?
I did cancel y'all probate show. So let me tell you. So Ebony and I went to Paul at different.
It was always up to no good. I know it.
So what happened was we went at different times. So when I met Ebony, I was working at the school at the time. So I was like the NPHC person, and so I canceled Masoro's probate. I apologize. I'm on the record. I'm apologizing years later, but an apology is given. So I was just doing my job. Shannon, I didn't hear from you, did I?
Yeah, no. But I will echo like everybody's comments around like the pride, the legacy, being resourceful and making ends meet when, you know, the funds weren't there. But I would also add that we were taught at TSU as soon as we entered to think, to work, and to serve. That's the motto of Tennessee State University. And if you're a graduate, if you're a student, you know those 3 words: think, work, and serve. And I think when I was in school, those words really didn't resonate the way they do now as an adult. To think, to have an idea, to have a vision, to write it down, to make it plain, right? The second phase, to work. You got to put in the work, right? So like everybody's saying, like, I'm 3 steps in it ahead of you because I come from a place of we have to work, right? You have to also be in a place to be lifelong learners. So it doesn't end at our institutions, right? And in terms of serving, we were always like, it was instilled in us to like, it does not stop after us. Like just to see somebody when it first started to say JHS, my child might attend. That's somebody who I don't even know who goes to my high school and in Orlando, Florida. So it's all about service. It's about reaching back, pulling those who are behind us. So for me, I think those were the characteristics that were cultivated in me then, and that I still try to that are applicable now in my post-college life.
I love it. Can I have some fun with you guys? Can I take you guys down memory lane? Okay, so top 5.
Oh.
What are your top 5 HBCU experience moments? So what are your top 5 moments? Like when you were there, you probably would have never had this opportunity before, but you were there, this happened, and it's embedded in your top 5 forever. Jamal, I'm starting with you. Are you not ready?
Oh, I'm ready. Excuse me. Okay. All right. My first one, of course, pledging was like one of my top 5. It was a crazy experience. I was the youngest. I was 18 when I pledged. So, I was 18 when I pledged. And so it was just different. Everybody else was like 20, 21. So that was an experience. And of course, when I got to school, I'm not a pretty boy, but I'm a pretty boy. So it was like, I was like, oh, okay. So everybody came to my probate and they was like, wait. So I came out and then they was like, nah, bro, like we had bought you Kappa paraphernalia because we thought you were fine. And I said, oh, because I'm a dancer. Y'all thought I was just gonna shimmy or something. I was like, nah.
Whoa.
Was like returning gifts.
Wait a minute.
Talk about his moments, Jay.
Talk about your nuke moments later. No, that was the first one. The second highlight was we used to have this thing, most Black schools, our award show, superlatives at the end of the year. Ours was called the Emmys, and everybody would dress up as different celebrities, and they would perform as those celebrities as well. But I got to choreograph the whole thing, and so it became one of my top 5 moments because it was the first time that I was recognized as a choreographer, and the opening was Beyonce, which happened to be the same song that I ended up choreographing for Homecoming. So I was like, oh, like, wow, this was like 6 years ago. And then it kind of full circled, and I didn't think that was going to be possible. The third thing is, we used to have this thing called Drunken Crunk Wednesdays. So we knew that the dorm director was going to always leave at a certain time.
9:30.
Back to the next morning. Only on Wednesday. So we was like, all right, we're gonna have this little private session, and we would turn off the lights in the whole dorm, and we had a room for like dancing, a room for we had a bartender. It was this whole thing.
I'm just showing out.
Until got shut down because somebody snitched, and so they tried to catch us. Nobody got caught because we had pulled the fire alarm, and then everybody ran out the dorm.
Drunken crunk.
Okay. That was fun. Then we raided the girls' dorm. It started this big water fight in the middle of the night. So like woke up and everybody's dorm is soaking wet, puddles everywhere. That was pretty fun. And then I will say this step show. I remember it was my freshman year. It was the step show, and I don't think I had never seen anything like that, to where I was like, yo, I remember I just heard the Alphas stomp and I was like, okay. But everybody was good that year. And the Deltas that came out with this whole band, like an actual band. And I said, this is crazy. And they was like, oh, are you ready for the 5 time in a row champions? Deltas to come in. I was like, oh my God, like what?
It was ready.
This is like life. And it was just,
about right.
Yeah, it was just, that was probably like, yo, these are unforgettable moments to where when I talk to everybody, like we still talk about it.
I love it. Popcorn, Shannon.
For me, it would definitely be pledging Alpha Chi chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. Shout out to my line sisters, 55 Conference of Company. I would also say my freshman year, being a cheerleader, just being on that field, hearing the band, and just being a part of that, cheering during my collegiate years. I'm making it short. Also, TSU had this thing called Courtyard Wednesdays, and every Wednesday the band would be out there. I mean, not the band. Well, sometimes the band would be out there, but the DJ would be out there. People would be stepping. If you were walking by to go to class, you might get like derailed a little bit. Hang out in the courtyard. You put on your best outfit to walk.
Oh yeah, you dress up on Wednesday.
Also, I ran for Miss Black and Gold. I was talked into doing it. I
was Mr. Crimson and Cream.
But hey, y'all. And my parents who don't really know nothing about, collegiate life, they drove from Florida. And I did like Proud Mary. I had my choreography. It was so dope, but I didn't win because I messed up on the Q&A part. But anyway, but everybody still was like, oh, you should win. And then I will say, did I say courtyard cheerleading, pledging Delta, Miss Black and Gold, and graduating? Even though I didn't want to leave, I just think that just being in the middle of my sorors for the Sweetheart song and just feeling like that sense of accomplishment is something that I will never, ever, ever forget. So those are my top five. And that's the PG version because my mama, I think, is watching.
Hey, Mama Jones. Eb, come on. What you got?
All right, so I'm gonna say winning. I did win Miss Crimson and Cream, even though I'm pink and green. It just worked out that way. Coming with y'all stuff.
But you ran for Crimson and Cream.
Okay, I won the Delta pageant. That was it.
We got a lot in common. Seems
I
like.
want Mr. Pink and Green at U of H.
But yeah, no, that was awesome. My roommate was a Delta, and so she was one of the best roommates I ever had at Jarvis. When I crossed, when our Neos crossed, I don't know if you were there when Rayvon came out of the trunks. That probate show was off the chain when they came out to pop my trunk. I don't know if y'all remember.
Where them haters at? Man.
Yes.
That was my probate song. I came out to that song.
Yeah.
I think we like related. Oh my gosh, that was the best probate show. I remember everybody being like, where the girls at? When are they coming? They were looking, and the whole time we had them in the trunk. I don't know if that was safe, but it was lit.
We had good times with the Queen. I don't know what y'all talking about.
It was lit. It was lit before lit was even lit. It was awesome. I have so many winning first place step show. Mm-hmm. Man, that was awesome. I'll be all night, so I'm just gonna stop with those three. I have so many. Being Greek in undergrad, like there's no other. That's a whole new thing, you know what I mean? Like
royalty,
everything. So
I'm gonna add one to yours if you don't mind. You were the first IBM intern from Paul Quinn, and so
I didn't know if we were going to get to that, when that moment where you felt like this is the best.
I'm sorry. I'm come up with another one. I'm gonna come back to that one.
Okay.
I remember because I was doing career services then, and we were trying to merge and build this program up with IBM, and we sent our best representative, and she killed it. JT, come on, Mr. Kappa man. What's your top five? You got him.
So I'm trying to keep this clean. So I'll say honestly, one, freshman orientation, the best 2 weeks of honestly of my life. Like it was like the dopest 2 weeks. Like I said, I was excited to get to school and to be there 2 weeks before school actually happened. Dope. Then we'll go into homecoming, but in the band. My first homecoming in the band was magical, scary, tiring, because when you're active in school, homecoming really isn't as fun as it is for alumni. Mm-hmm. Like the alumni get to come back and kick it, but if you're active in school, like you're working, you're all week, you are literally working, trying to make everything happen. Right. And so that was dope.
That's for you, Say Bread. That's for you. That's for you, Say Breads.
Yes, sir. Hey, Dre. That's what's up. So let's see, we got those two, and then this is embarrassing. I announced myself as Mr. Kentucky State University when I had been in Not Now pageant, filled out Not Now application to do so, but for some reason, I think that's what I was going to do at some point, and I was standing up in front of the student body for an assembly, and I was to introduce myself because I was Mr. Gospel Ensemble, part of the choir, and so it was our annual concert. And I was going to come out, hi, my name is Justin Thaxton, Mr. Gospel Ensemble. But instead, hi, I'm Justin Thaxton, Mr. Kentucky State University. And I said it with such pride, as if I had earned the right to do so. But no, I had not. What else? That's a lot. But I'm trying to figure out what can we do on the family show.
It's after dark.
It's after dark.
Yeah. Now we do a part 2. Yeah.
Okay.
But hold on. Watch
I'm gonna do a part 2 to this. We're gonna have to do I'm gonna work on it.
Yeah. What else? I'll top it off. I'll just say graduating. Graduation, I'd actually cried because of I love my school. I love Kentucky State University. I love the green and gold, man. I love everything about it. 1886. It's this thing that literally I was saturated in, and to have to, I fought to get out, but when it was time to actually leave, it was a sad day. Because I don't know if any of you had to do additional semesters, to get to graduate. That's part of my story. So I had to fight hard to get out of there, and I earned every bit of it. And to say it was done, it was great, but it was extremely sad. And you know what? Because Dre just said something. I met my homeboys for life. 2 other people on my podcast are people that I went to school with. And you know what I'm saying? They're literally my peoples, my brothers I will go hard for. And you know what I'm saying? When you meet people that are there throughout the rest of your life, and not even a part of an organization, you know what I'm saying? Because that's definitely there. That's a whole nother. But people who are just you met in general, just standing on the yard, having the conversation, and you bond forever. It's a very special thing. So I appreciate those boys. Thank y'all
for that. I'm gonna share mine real quick. One is when I became an alpha. Another one of my moments was when I won the vote for SGA president. Another one of mine was when I was a part of Paul Penn College's first Honda campus, also a challenge team. So we went to the Black HBCU Quiz Bowl in Orlando, Disney, all that kind of stuff for free. So that was another one. I will say another one of mine was when I graduated. I really understood the alma mater words on that day when we sung it for the very last time in the commencement ceremony. I was like, man, I actually did this. And then the last one tied to that was being the last grandchild of 6. I was the first college graduate in my family. So all that culminated on the very last day when I graduated of the alma mater, really understanding the meaning of it. And then being the first one in my family to graduate, we're all in my top 5. I got to go back to this because Ebony brought it up. And I wanted to touch it earlier, but I didn't get a chance to think about what was that aha moment. And I promise you guys, I know you guys have other things going on, but I got to ask this question. What was your aha moment where you just knew going to an HBCU was the best decision you've ever made? What was that aha moment for you when you just knew beyond a shadow of a doubt, I don't care what nobody say, I'll write this check, take it to the bank. This is the best decision I've ever made going to my HBCU.
Well, I'll go ahead and jump out there because we kind of started talking about it a little bit. But for me, I had a couple of moments, but I would say it was post-graduation. One, when I got the internship at IBM, my professors worked with me so that I could continue working at IBM for the entire year. So I ended up being in a co-op program. Some of my friends who had gone off to major universities, major PWIs, they were at these great universities, but they didn't have great GPAs. And I remember one of my friends asking me to help her get on at IBM. And at that time, when IBM was hiring for vitality hires, you had to have at least a 3.5 GPA. Well, I had a 3.8 GPA coming out of Paul Quinn. A lot of times people don't think about that. They think, oh, it's the name. But just having an HR program background, working in talent management and development, I know that companies, they actually look at your GPA before they look at the school. And so my friend didn't even make the cut because her GPA, it didn't matter to school. She didn't make the cut because it was written in black and white that you had to have at least a 3.5 GPA just to be considered. So her application didn't even make the cut. And in that moment, I was like, thank you, God. Thank you, God. I had the best time of my life. I was in an environment where professors worked with me, and I was able to focus on my education and also able to jumpstart my career, which is something a lot of people don't get to say. I was working full time at a Fortune 50 company my senior year of college. Just because I had the right credentials, and that made a huge difference. So that was when I knew I could make the best decision ever.
I love it. Thank you for sharing. JT, what was your aha moment, man?
I thought about this question, and I hate to say it, I don't have one aha moment like that. It's my entire experience is my aha moment.
Yeah.
I couldn't be who I am, good and bad, without everything that happened. Just to be connected with people who got my back. I'm traveling across the Midwest, doing this voter registration, but it's been a mini homecoming at every stop, and alumni just coming in, and literally, so we're on an RV, and it's three college friends who are doing this, and so we got the pride, right? We just brought the bare necessities, but two wonderful ladies, alumni that we went to school with, said, "What do y'all need? We got y'all." Came, decked us out, because we just had the basics. But the little plus stuff came through. So I appreciate, it's the aha moments when you realize the family that you have, the extended family. So yeah,
definitely. Ms. Jones.
I echo Jamal. Like I'm struggling with this question because soon as I stepped foot on the campus, honestly, I knew that I had made the right decision. But the one thing that stands out, and it was very early on, I think it was the first time all of the freshman class came together, and it was our President Hefner at the time, was one of the best presidents ever, was the president at TSU. He gave a speech, and as a freshman, sometimes you don't really, we hear certain things, but it doesn't resonate. But Dr. Hefner, he read this quote that ended up, it was like it etched in our brains, and I'm gonna read it, and I'm gonna feel like Brandy. I was laughing at myself. I'm gonna read it, and I was like, "Oh my gosh!"
I got a poem real quick.
I got a poem.
Yeah, I know. And I got
no part, no trapper keeper.
Right.
No, but I was like, I'm gonna have to read it because I know the first part, but I'm gonna have to read it. And I was like, "Oh,
you good? Go ahead."
But anyway, I corrected myself. So it's about the lion and the gazelle, and it's every morning in Africa, a gazelle wakes up. It knows that it must run faster than a lion or it will be killed. Every morning, a lion wakes up. It knows that it must outrun the slowest gazelle or it will starve to death. It says it doesn't matter whether you are a lion or a gazelle. When the sun comes up, you better be running. And I sat in our freshman assembly and I heard Dr. Hefner say that. And to me, it was like, Shannon, you control your own destiny. Whether you're going to be the lion, whether you're going to be the gazelle, like you control your own destiny. I felt like that just resonated. And I even apply that to my life now. Like, the responsibility is mine, and just sitting in that space. And he was like, look to the left, look to the right. Somebody ain't going to make it. Like, once somebody won't make it to the finish line. And it was like, for me, he wasn't trying to like be rosy and paint this beautiful picture that it's going to be easy. But he was real, and he made it, very clear to us, like, you're going to have to put in the work. You control your own destiny. You have to take responsibility for the work that you put in order to succeed at this institution. And I just remember sitting in that space during that freshman, like that was like the first week of school. And that's when I was like, you know what, I'm home. So that's my experience.
I love it. I love it. Jamal.
My aha moment was the end of my senior year. I was over organization. I was over the president of the choir. I was president of model troop, president of the dance team, president of my chapter.
That's president.
And yeah, so now, so I was just always working, and we were supposed to have this party, like throwing an alpha party or whatever, but we didn't plan it on time. So my advisor said, "Oh, like y'all not gonna have this party," and so it was like a Wednesday, and we was like, "We're gonna have it on Friday," and then because another school was having it on Saturday, and I said, "Okay, like whatever," and I said, "Watch me." But I had been traveling, road tripping to so many schools, and I remember that it was about to be my birthday, and the Deltas and AKAs from Benedict and Claflin, Allen, all of them, they had came down, and during the halftime of the show, they had gave me like, it was like, we want to say happy birthday to our favorite alpha. He always comes to support us. And they was like, I hope y'all come to the party night. They brought me all these gifts and stuff like that. And then they bought about 20 cars each school. There was like, even we were really cool with some Kappas and some Qs from Kappas from Charlotte was driving down. Voorhees is 2 hours from Charlotte. When they was driving down, and we used to do like this unity stroll, and then, but we did the AKA Alpha one first, and it was so many that the last AKA was in front of me when I was leading the line, and we were around the whole gym, and it was that many people who had came to that party, and we had announced like 2 days, and my advisor said that was the biggest party, the most money we had ever made, and everybody was like, bro, like it's because you just be partying and you travel. And so like my aha moment was when I had realized, you know, I didn't just have Voorhees as a family. I had all these other HBCUs where they actually thought I went to their school because I was there so much. But that showed me that I was like, wow, like I actually touched more than I knew.
Wow. I love it. I love how I know it was hard to pick that one moment, but just the moment that you guys picked out were just like these moments are forever embedded in our history and in our DNA, because if these moments hadn't happened, or if they hadn't been allowed to happen, we wouldn't have made it to the points where we are to be successful and professional. And I love how when I did this, when I came with this topic, I said I wanted to have a guest with varied experiences. So Shannon, you've done your thing from your BET days to what you're doing now. Ebony, from when you were an intern at IBM to doing your thing with having this tea party now. JT, man, you in an RV right now doing voter registration, and yet you are talking about the empowering things that an HBCU has done for you and changed your life. Jamal, I mean, you come from some would argue that you were given an experience that they would look at someone from a Howard or a Hampton to do on a larger scale. You choreographed the Beyonce homecoming thing and you was a kid from Oakland that went to Voorhees College. Like, there's some amazing things happening and coming out of HBCUs, and that's why I wanted to do this show on tonight, talk about how they can change your lives, how they have changed our lives, and we're only a small sample of other people who are alums of HBCUs that have just a wealth of experiences and that have been exposed to different things in life because of the HBCU experiences that we've been provided. I want to throw a pop culture thing in here before we get out of here. So think about this. You know, I'm a reality buff head, so I came up with this today. Don't judge me. But if you were the marketing representative for your HBCU, what tagline would you create for your respective HBCUs? So if you had to create a tagline for your HBCU, for Voorhees, for Paul Quinn, for Tennessee State, for Kentucky State, what would that tagline be to attract someone to check it out, to go to the website, to come talk to you about your experience, because I may be interested in Tennessee State, I may be interested in Voorhees. Like, what would you say to them in a tagline to make them to pique their interest even more? Anybody?
That's a hard one.
It is.
It's a hard one.
I like to. So I have a dry humor, so I think mine would be kind of comical. It'd be like something, I don't know, like we'll give you the greatest experience or your money back.
We'll give you the greatest experience, or we give you your money back. Right. I like that. Hey, we don't put hashtag. We don't do refunds.
Right. Hashtag right. You'd be like, you didn't read the small in between lines. Like,
you're gonna enjoy this experience at this HBCU because we don't
have to leave within the first 7 days. Like, I don't know, something comical.
And it may. I didn't mean, guys. I literally had this idea pop up in my head right before we got on. So if you can't come up with one quick, don't worry about it. But it's just something that I came up with and said, let me tie a little pop culture into this thing. Who knows? You may want to patent it and trademark it because your HBCU might need to run you a check if it pop off. But yeah, I'm thinking along those lines. Did anybody come up with one? Anybody else come up with one possibly? If not, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Well, I thought of something that I saw on a shirt. It don't have nothing to do with TSU. I didn't make it up, but it was the blacker the college, the sweeter the knowledge. And I think that applies to all of our HBCUs. The blacker the college, the sweeter the knowledge, the prouder we are, and that's all I got.
Thank you so, and I hope I say your name right, Mila. Thank you so much. We need more of this for our young people. Thank you for joining, and thank you for watching, Mila. I mean, I thank you for saying that because all I'm doing every week is having real dialogue with real people. It's like we having a fireside chat, and we're inviting y'all to the conversation, and we just having a good old time. HBCUs are very important and very viable. So I really felt the need to do this on tonight, along with these amazing guests. Final thoughts, anybody? What do you want people to take away from how an HBCU changed your life? As we get ready to close this thing out, I'm sorry I'm a little over time tonight, but I really appreciate you guys hanging in there with me. This is it. What are your final thoughts that you want to share to anyone that may be watching that they may want to share with their child or their cousins that are coming up about why an HBCU is important or how an HBCU actually changed your life?
Real quickly, I would say to anyone that no matter what HBCU you go to, you will be equipped with the tools to compete with anybody from any school at any level. Do not let anyone tell you that you are at a lesser school because you're at a HBCU. And I want the next generation to turn the tide and start flooding HBCUs again. I remember. Well, now I'm about to go into a whole bunch of other stuff, but it's That's what I'll leave it at.
Okay.
I'll stop preaching. Yeah. I'm good. Yeah.
Okay. I appreciate you, man, for sharing that because you're speaking from the heart, and we don't just take our schools, the HBCUs, though. We take this whole HBCU thing to heart, not just our school, because when we speak about one, we're speaking about all of them essentially. So we want to push people to go more to them. I'm sorry. Now I'm about to start preaching. Somebody else go ahead.
It's easy.
Eb, Shannon, which one of you guys want to go?
Well, I would encourage any youth who may be considering an HBCU to go. It is life changing, as you've heard. The experience, the lessons that you learn are invaluable. I would also challenge us as alums and future alums to continue sharing our stories and to continue sharing our experiences to encourage the next generation to want to continue that, trajectory into HBCUs. Like, it doesn't stop when we leave. I think we have an obligation to continue pushing HBCUs forward because that's where greatness is, and I'm proud to be an HBCU graduate. Period.
I love it.
I would say give. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. You can go. Go ahead.
Sorry,
go ahead.
Yeah. I had something popped up and I started reading it.
I'll put your names up there. That's fine. I want people know who's talking tonight.
I love what Shannon said earlier. The blacker the college, the sweeter the knowledge. I think that's really cute. I would just say, we live. I don't want to. How do I say this? I'm getting my doctorate now at Regent University, so I'm not at a HBCU, and I didn't get my master's from an HBCU, but I'm grateful for my HBCU experience. And so I think this idea that, who was it? Justin, I think, said it earlier that, going to a HBCU doesn't mean that you've taken a lesser form of education. It's a stepping stone. And I feel like it's a stepping stone that allows you to move with a level of confidence when you do go to larger universities and when you do have greater opportunities to do other things. It's something, it puts a sense of pride in you that you can't get from anywhere else. So I mean, ultimately, God is in control. And I'm just going to say that because, like I said, people talked about me for going to Jarvis. And hey, I'm here now working on my doctorate. They told me I would never be able to get a good job because I went to a small HBCU and I ended up working for a Fortune 500 company, So really do what you want to do. And know that God is in control. If you want to go to a school because it's fun and you want to be amongst people that look like you, go and make the best of it. And like, I think he said it best, like, it doesn't mean that you're choosing a lesser option. You're really choosing a greater option because you're investing in you. So.
I love it. Thank you. Jamal, close us out, man.
I would just say give the same energy that you would give the most prominent school that you know of. That's probably the best way that I can put it. Like if you make your school feel like it's Harvard, that's what it's gonna be. So giving back to your school, going back to your school, like the prominent schools that we see, they have that because people are investing and they're going to give back. So your experience is gonna be what you make it.
Exactly. Well, thank you guys so much for those final thoughts. For those of you who are watching, I want to take the time again to thank each and every one of my guests for joining me on tonight for Dialogues with Doc. Tonight's topic was an HBCU changed my life. I hope and I pray that something was shared with you on tonight by my amazing panelists to kind of keep the conversation sparked and keep it moving, to get you and your children to consider going to HBCUs, or even if you're an adult that's thinking about going to get a degree, or thinking about going to get another degree, or to work on your master's, or things like, or your doctorate even, consider an HBCU. They are hidden gems in our society that many people try to overlook. But one thing about a coal, once you give it enough pressure, it'll become a diamond. So Justin, I stole from you guys for just a minute. As you put more pressure on the coal, it will become a diamond. And HBCUs are diamonds in our community that I don't feel get enough shine. So we're here tonight. You're shedding some light, buffing them up a little bit, making them shine a little bit brighter. Thank you to my amazing guests, Brother Jamal. Thank you. Sister Ebony, thank you. Sister Shannon, thank you. Brother JT, thank you guys so much for joining me. Before we leave on tonight, tell everybody what you're doing, how they can keep up with you, how they can follow you. Ebony, go.
I just feel like you keep putting me on the
spot. It's all love.
Don't ask me. I keep looking out. Y'all, I'm over here breastfeeding. Like,
I'm sorry. Shannon, go ahead. How can the people keep up with you? What are you doing? What's going on?
Like I said, I work for the Bloomberg American Health Initiative at Hopkins. I do communications, events, marketing. I do events on the side. Outside of work, I turn up a little bit. I'm a super mom, got a son. You can follow me on Instagram. My page is private, but I might accept you if you maybe send a DM. I might go ahead and accept you at Gotta Love Jones. Gotta Love Jones. That's my thing. And
tell them about the other page, though, the lit page.
Oh yes. Oh my gosh. So my friend, y'all know what? How did I forget this? So my best friend and I, Devon Bagley, who's a graduate of Bethune-Cookman University, we curated this whole thing called A Different World Live, where we would do day parties in different cities. It started here in DC. Yeah, that's me.
That's you. Oh, get out of here.
Yeah. What can I do? So we started. Calvin was like, I met Calvin actually through Devon and through coming and supporting our events. We've done scholarship opportunities through it. We turned up. We've been to Atlanta, Charlotte, DC more than enough times. I just love all things. Like, I get so excited talking about this, and I'm like, dang, we gotta hang up. So I do a lot of stuff, and I like to have.
So follow at A Different World Live.
A Different World Live. A Different World Live. Yes.
Jamal.
I have a question real quick. Is that to piggyback off of the show A Different World?
So it was created. Yeah, the way it was created, we all worked at BET. One day, randomly, he wore a Kappa shirt. I wore a Delta shirt. Someone else wore a North Carolina A&T shirt. And we were like, oh my gosh, we look like the cast of A Different World. Then we were like, we should have a day party. Oh, well, let's do a day party themed around supporting HBCUs, and the rest was history. So we didn't want to take A Different World because of rights and property. So we did A Different World Live, and that was the thing. So, yes.
Yeah. That's cool.
I love that. That's really cool.
Yeah, thank you.
I can't wait till Corona's over so we can.
Oh, right. You can do a virtual through like your platform, but we'll talk about it later.
Hey,
I have a lot of ideas, y'all.
Well, I just
homecoming.
I finished choreographing for America's Got Talent.
Nice.
And I am currently working with like four artists on their music videos and some new projects. And tomorrow I'm actually releasing my first book. It's a children's book.
Congratulations, man.
Yeah, it's a children's book. It's called Black Boys Dance 2, and it's an book that's towards, just encouraging a lot of young Black men to, even if they don't play football or basketball, that they can do something in the arts and they don't have to be gay, weak, sensitive, whatever. So that is going to be available as a print book, an ebook, and a coloring book.
That's that.
Right? I love it.
I've been putting it together, and I'm going to make it into a mini series where the character is going to be teaching different styles of dance in books.
So, love it, man.
What's up, man?
Yeah.
A lot of Black boy and Black girl magic on this panel tonight. I
You
love
know what?
it.
I'll go after Jamal because I think this Jamal that just spoke.
Yeah.
I think he's like my best friend in another world. It's so funny.
And the crazy part, Evan, he been on the yard when you doing your time. Like, that's crazy. Like how y'all never connected.
You ain't never seen me strutting. It's the hair.
I don't know.
For me.
I was there to bother Calvin and Craig.
You know, if I didn't have this baby, I'm gonna show you because you think you can dance, but nothing.
So you think you can dance?
Right.
I can do it all. I can pull over. I can do it all. Like, I don't know if Shannon pulls. They don't pull over where she from.
Yes. Shannon hang with Marie. They pulls over. They
Oh.
they pulls over.
But so you guys know, my husband and I, we have a church here in Frisco. It's the North Bridge Church, where we exist for people who are looking for more love, truth, transformation, and success. I also have my nonprofit organization, Tabitha's Tea Party. You can follow that organization on Instagram. And personally, I am getting ready to publish a book.
I love it.
I'm really vulnerable about it. It's my journey through in the form of poetry. So it's a really dope book. I'm really excited about it. This is my first time saying it out loud on a platform like this. So I'm just like
accountability.
My first exclusive, my second exclusive tonight.
I let Jamal hype me up, but it will be here soon. And the name of the book is Black Wings Still Fly. So y'all be on the lookout for that. I'm
Black
excited.
Wings Still Fly. I love it. I love it. I love it. Congratulations to both of you. JT, close us out, man.
So let's see here. So I guess I'll say my personal stuff. Living in DC and currently working on my first screenplay. Halfway done with that. Then now get to this part. I am a part of the 1528 podcast, and we are currently going across the Midwest, hitting swing states and major cities, trying to get people registered to vote. A lot of these places are historically having low voter turnout. Less than 60% of people in the inner city do not vote. And as you have looked, we have put ourselves in a position where we most definitely have to vote and get other people to vote. So with that being said, I would like to ask for support for this. If you can, please go to the 1528 podcast. One, we do have a GoFundMe, but also please go to thepodcast.com and hook us. You can see us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We're all over the place, and we are definitely trying to do the Lord's work. We're definitely trying to get out here and just make sure people get their voices counted and heard. Otherwise, they should not be complaining for the state that we're in. So yeah, that's my spiel.
Love it, love it, love it. Thank you guys once again. Oh, Go ahead. Go ahead. Well,
I was like, I can talk to you about your screenplay. I just finished mine and I pitched it.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. I finished it, and one is in development. So yeah, I can definitely.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
See?
See?
Everybody like, see?
Right. See, HBCU. HBCU.
Put you in the right room with the right people. And HBCU can change your life too.
Right.
Absolutely.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much again for joining Dialogues with Doc on tonight. We've had an amazing show with some amazing guests. We've made some amazing connections to talk about an amazing topic, HBCUs. We hope that something was shared with you that has empowered you even more to make you do more research or even push other young people to go to HBCUs as well. I'd like to thank Jamal Joseph, Ebony King, Shannon Jones, and Justin Thaxton for joining me on tonight. I'll be back again next Wednesday at 8 p.m. I don't know what the topic is going to be yet. I'll release it on Friday. I'm still praying on it. I know something by tomorrow, and I have it released on Friday to see you guys again next Wednesday at 8 p.m. This has been Dialogues with Doc. Thank you guys for joining us, and have an amazing evening. See you guys next week.
Yes.
Thank you.
I enjoy meeting you guys.
Same here.